Hello, everyone, and welcome to a fresh episode of Life Conversations with Victor James. I am Victor James, and I want to especially appreciate those that listened to the last episode on love. The number came in, and I'm grateful to those that listened to the episode because I think that particular day there were challenges with network, and a lot of people could not listen through. So it was one of my longest episodes recently. I guess it's because love will always be an elaborate topic because you have a lot to clarify and put right. So yeah, that's that. And I want to appreciate those that are giving positive feedback to help me to find some strength so far. And especially the person who donated the big power bank for the podcast ministry. That's a great gesture, and I appreciate it. So let's get to today. Fresh day, fresh episode. So recently I've been thinking a lot about my life. So about the summation of my life, actually, about this number of years that I have lived. How did I get here? Just trying to understand if things are on the right track and if I want to improve in the next decades, what are the things I should put in place now? Because to be honest with you, I think that where I'd find myself now, my highs and my lows, my best and my worst, they are reflections, and I can say that for a fact of everything that happened when I was about 10 or so, and continued to happen until when I was 20. So we are a reflection, present tense. Presently we are reflections of whatever, summation of everything, a total sum of everything that has happened in our past. When you were 2, you did A. When you are 4, you did B. When you are 7, you did C. When you are 14, you did Y. Of course, the sum of your life is now A, B, C, Y. That's what you have now. So when people see you, when people see us and try to commend you, I like the way your life is. It's not just one facet. It's not just one perspective. My life actually that you are seeing now is a mixture of this and this and that. You are seeing this perspective now, this part of me now. But what made up this part is because of this other thing. For example, you will see people that you say, wow, they laugh a lot. Wow, this guy is very joyful. This guy laughs a lot. I love to be around him. In real fact, that laughter was brought out of a place, most likely, of sorrow in the past. So they had learned and adjusted to now try to exhibit the laughter as much as they can because there was some big thing that happened in the past. There are people who value people so much. It was because they didn't value somebody when they were in some years ago and the person left and maybe ultimate living this world, and now they have made up my mind that they will continue to value people. But we'll just see the positive aspect. We don't know the negative. Let me not call it negative. Yeah. What has birthed the present goodness that you are seeing now. People just see the resurrection. Wow, Christ is risen. Glory to Jesus. It's shiny. Everything is sweet. But he had to die. He had to be dragged through the streets up to Golgotha. He had to be nailed. He had to die. There is no death. There is no resurrection without death. And I think it's the same for most of us too. Whatever part of a person that you love now, say, I just love this part of the person. You have to know the full story. This person, most likely, there are some things that they have done that has now resulted in this good part. In most cases, it's like this. Of course, there are people who are just pure, undeniably pure from birth. They just continue that lifestyle, and those kind of people must be very careful, because when you are living on the high all your life, you are doing so much good. Goodness, you are a body of good. The tendency that when a shock comes in, when you become betrayed, for example, the tendency to just go down low and never rise again is very high. That's what I think. So most people that are on a roll, that be on a roll, you must be prepared that maybe there'll be a time when there'll be some defeat, there'll be some failure, there'll be some push down, and you may fall. When you fall, don't sit down and think, why didn't I reap the rewards of my goodness all this while? Stand up and think that, well, at least there are some persons who have been falling and failing since they were a child. But it just happened now. And console yourself the fact that when you rise now, you are rising again and again. I don't see any other perspective to think about this, actually. So my life and everybody's life is, again, a sum of what we are. Why do I think about life in the way I think about life? What has shaped this outlook I have of life? I realize it's because every now and then I'm always trying to go down, to look down. When I say look down, just to check whether the roots are still there. Just to remind myself that nobody lives forever. Just to once again become aware of the stark fact that time is going, So one of the best things about that I would like to share, no matter what, that I would like to hold on to, is one of the best, trait that I would like to hold on to is that I'm constantly reminding myself of my best and my good, of my best and my worst. So there are many perspectives and philosophy about this. Some will say you leave the past in the past, but the mistake some persons make is they just focus on the worst of their past. They focus on the worst and they live in that worst state again and again and again and again. They just wallow in it. What of your best part? What of the best thing you have done? Remind yourself of that and be balanced. And then on the flip side, there are people who just remind themselves of their great achievement. Those people may never be able to do greater things. And you may lose guard, like they say. You may let down your guard and forget that you are human. But when you are great and you can remind yourself of your worst part of your history, it helps you to stick to it. It helps to stay to be humble and appreciate. Hold on tightly to the time when things are going great. And as you forge forward, as you try to push forward, try to run along, try to face what is to come, reminding yourself that you have achieved something in the past gives you a lot of catalyst and strength and confidence to say, well, I think that I can achieve a lot. I have killed the bear. I killed the wolf. I should be able to kill this Goliath. But at the same time, I ordered the killing of Uriah. I stole a man's wife. Let me be careful going forward. I counted Israel. Nobody told me to. Let me be careful as I move forward, because I am, at the end, a man. And let me not think that I'm strong. Let me not think that I've attained. Let me not think that I'm the best of all. Let me not think that I'm the warrior and king. David, be careful. But in your carefulness, don't forget to do greater things. So, all I've said so far is supposed to be a preamble of today's episode. But as I was talking about the preamble, I realized that preamble in itself is enough. It's enough to be a topic. So what I want to talk about actually today, I would keep it for the next episode. But I just want to say that there are some things that must be done. Since we are talking about reminding ourselves of the past, reminding ourselves of our past great achievement and our past low times. There are some things that must be done. This must both sides both things must be done. Both kinds of reflection must be done, knowing fully well that actually, in real sense, there is no evidence. This is a bit tricky, but there's no evidence of what has happened before. There is no evidence of what is about to happen in the future. The only evidence you have actually is where you are now, what you can touch. Let me say tangible evidence. The only thing you can touch presently as you are sitting down or standing up or as you are listening to this, the only thing you can touch is your body. You can touch your arm, you can touch your face, you can touch your laps. But you can't touch the memory of what happened 10 years ago. What happened yesterday? It has faded into memory. You can't reach out and touch again what is to come. Tomorrow we would wake up and get into tomorrow. Today becomes intangible. The evidence that we have today and tomorrow, or rather the evidence that we once had yesterday and some years ago, are only protected in our memory and in our picture. In the pictures we take, the memories we keep. The mind, that is where I'm going. The mind. A person's mind is where most things are formed. If I want to have a superpower, I think I will choose having much control over my mind and possibly over other people's mind, because the person who sits down to wallow in their lowest moment and then start to cry and then start to weep and then starts to live in guilt of what they had done before. In actual science, the evidence, empirical evidence, tangible evidence of that thing they had done, they can't see it now. But it is in their mind. And it's the mind that every other thing, emotions, feelings, and responses, decision, everything that we are, it happens in the mind. So once you let go, you lose the power over that mind, and that mind now becomes strived with guilt, with sorrow, with just focus on the negative historical part of your life till now and the present. Only the negatives. You may find it difficult to lift a leg to say you want to move forward. To lift your leg, your physical leg, now becomes difficult because your mind, which controls your entire sense and being, is down. In that case, the mind too, therefore, must be engineered in such a way that you would know, no matter what you think about, no matter, of course, every now and then you may be scrolling to internet and you see something that tries to bring you down, tries to drag you back into places you have left behind. It is important at that moment to remind yourself again, engineer the mind again, to remind yourself of what is to come, to remind yourself also of the best of your past. Wasn't I the one that achieved this great thing? Wasn't I the one that did this good thing? What is that? Am I not the one? You are. It is you. You did it. And therefore, in that your mind, in that citadel of your mind, you must be able to still tell yourself that I can go forward. Why not? There will be sunshine. Who says I cannot shine more than this? Who says I cannot achieve greater things? Who says I cannot be free of the evil of my past? Who says that I cannot beat and overcome whatever thought that is trying to drag me down? It is your mind must be filled. That is what Christianity uses with the Bible. To constantly remind yourself of the promises that Jesus has said, God has said. I dare say that the promises in the scripture are far more than the curses. But people can hold on to the few curses that are there and forget about the blessings again and again. that they are reminded of. They can allow a voice in their head to whisper to their mind and plant a seed to say, no, you are negative. You are not good enough. You are this. Just give up. Just wallow there. Cry. Stay in sorrow. It is in the mind. But there are thousands of verses in the same scripture where the Christians built up his life upon the scripture, and that they are reminding themselves of the promises, even if it's something as simple as John 3:16 or Psalm 23, it's enough to make somebody to rise up to say, "Whoa, I am strong enough. I will not fail. I will not stay in sorrow. I will not die." Once you have a power over what goes on in your mind, once you can, to a large extent, control your mind, you become a winner. It begins to reflect in your body movement. It begins to reflect in the responses, your responses to the environment, in your responses to people. Because two people that were told the same thing, it's just in the mind that they receive it. The polluted mind will receive a polluted information. The pure mind receives a pure information. And they will do whatever they can with both. So, everything that would kind of truncate your mind, on my part, I think a lot of the social media does this. And maybe that's why we have a lot of problems coming up nowadays about people's mind and their mental state. Whatever it is, that you must guard. This is what everything I'm saying has been said in historical books, by philosophers, by Christ, by the Bible. It has been said. I'm just saying it in contemporary language. Anything that would destroy your mind, no matter how little the destruction is, that would fracture your mind. Don't play with it. It's not the consequence of the effect of that small fracture will be great. So take charge, take control of your mind, take control of your mind, and don't dwell on thoughts that you know will not result in anything constructive for you. I can dwell on my mistakes. I don't mean dwell. I can think about the things I've done wrong. I try to do that every now and then so that I will not be proud. But even when I'm doing it, I know that I'm doing it to get something positive from the mistake I made in the past. I want to get something better. I want to become something, a better product. And that's why I'm using that mistake and allowing it to try to distill out the good part of that. But if I cannot find any good thing about that, it's better it is lost in distant memory. I think I have said enough. Whatever you have picked, I hope you pick the fact that your mind, you must be able to control the goings and the comings. Thank you so much for listening to this preamble-turned chapter of my podcast. I appreciate you. I mean that I appreciate you for listening. Thank you. Bye-bye and God bless.